Greetings everyone, I am Bhargavi Trivedi and in this video tutorial I am going to cover algal single cell protein. This is the part of paper BT303 Marine Biotechnology Unit for Commercial Potential Semester 5. Now in this video we will discuss regarding what is single cell protein, what are the methods for the production of the single cell protein. We will see what are the factors that are affecting single cell protein, and we will see certain disadvantages that are associated with the single cell protein and what are the applications of it in our day-to-day life. And my humble request to you is please watch the entire video so that you can have the better understanding of the topic. So let's get started with it. So let's first understand the term. What is single cell protein? The word itself says that we are directly using the cell, the entire cell. Now these cells, they are singular in nature. Okay, we have learned that the organisms are unicellular and multicellular. Okay, so unicellular means only a single one. Okay, so that cell, we are using that entire cell. That's why it is referred to as single cell, and we are utilizing the protein of that single cell. Okay, that's why it is termed as single cell protein. Now it can be obtained from yeast, algae, filamentous fungi, and the bacteria. Okay, we are consuming the entire cell itself, but can we consume the wet cell? Okay, if someone gives you the wet cell, can you consume it? No, you cannot consume it. Okay, so first we have to dry the cell, right? And we have to make it in the powdered form, and then we are consuming that powder, which is nothing but basically it is the crushed form of the dry. And sometimes it is also used for the dietary purpose also. That's why it is termed as single cell protein. Okay, they are also used as animal feed and for human feed as protein supplement. Okay, you can imagine something as, I don't know you have heard or not, but the protein X powder and all. Okay, so what is happening that actually we derive protein from fish, okay, from eggs and all. Okay, by consuming mainly we derive protein from grams and all, but mainly it is coming from the non-vegetarian sources. So what happened that there was a World War II situation in which there was a nutritional deficiency of the protein that was formed. So in order to avoid the nutritional deficiency, found some scientists need to found some solution to that. So they have found out that if they use the protein, the dried form of the cell that is derived from the single cell like yeast cell and bacteria and all, so the problem of protein deficiency can be normally eradicated, and we don't have to depend mainly on the non-vegetarian food. So that's how the concept of single cell protein came into the market. Now they are also known as novel food, or they are also known as the mini food. Okay. So apart from the microbial protein content, they also contain nucleic acids, fats, aldehydes, some vitamins, and some minerals. Okay. Now, first protein that was as commercially used as ACP was protein. Please remember that it can be asked in the one marker question, and it was produced from the bacteria Methylophilus methylotropus. It was cultured on the methanol and had 72% protein. We will discuss regarding the culture method and all in detail. Please wait for just remember some key points that can be asked in the exams. Okay. This is the institutes that produce SCP in India. One is National Botanical Research Institute. One is CFTRI, Central Food Technology Research Institute. And in the CFTRI, SCP was produced on the sewage. Okay, we will discuss in detail regarding this. Just wait for a few minutes. So, uh, here it is a list of microorganisms that are mainly used for the production of the single cell protein. We are mainly interested in the algae. Okay, so in the algae, it can be spirulina, it can be chlorella, or it can be Crotona species. Now, why we are so much dependent? Why the scientists are focusing so much on the algae? Because you know that they are autotrophic in nature. Autotrophic, that means they can synthesize their own food, because the auto means, the word auto means self. Okay, so you know that they have the chlorophyll in it. By the help of carbon dioxide and water, they can prepare their own food. Okay, so there is no need for providing extra raw material, some extra very high carbohydrate rich source and very high nitrogen rich source. We don't have to provide it with the algae, because they have been working in that way from billions of years ago, so that they can just use carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and they can make their own food. And in turn, they are going to release the oxygen in nature. Okay, that's why we are going to study regarding the algal single cell protein. Okay, now you have to produce you have to produce algae at the industrial level. Okay, so you will require certain steps for the mass production of algae, because ultimately your end is to sell that powder form. Okay, so first see what are the steps that are involved in the mass production of algae. The first step is the microbial screening, because you know that you are going to select the best strain out of this. For example, you are selecting the best strain of spirulina that can give you the maximum algae production. Okay, and with the optimum CO2 conditions and H2 condition, all the parameters will be studied. Okay, second one is the choice of the raw material. So how you are going to provide the carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and source for their growth. That's why the choice of raw material plays a key role in that. Then comes the process engineering and the process optimization, because we have to go at the industrial scale. So we have to scale up from lab level to the pilot, and then to the final fermentation product level. Okay, so we have to optimize at each and every step, so that using the minimum usage we can get the maximum production. The technology development, this technology is new, so we are constantly working on that, how to make it better, smarter, and how it can be easy to use. The fifth is economic considerations and the process feasibility. The money plays a quite important role in it. And then comes the safety concern and the environmental protection. Why the safety and environmental? Because ultimately we are going to consume it. Okay, so we have to choose it in such a way that it should not be harmful to us. Now, algae, they grow in a we can make use we can grow algae in the artificial control condition. That means we can also use fermenters. Okay, but the algae, they are, it is found that they are grown mainly in the sewage ponds. Okay, why it is so? The sewage waste is high in carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen, sorry, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and other such nutrients. So what happens over there? They can easily found the basic requirements over there, and the water is already there, and from the atmosphere they can get carbon dioxide. Okay, they will have the open space, so that they will not require intensity of light, because it is going to directly fall on it. The temperature will be 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, and pH will be 8.5 to 10.5. Now you have to remember one thing, that uh, this intensity of light plays a role. Okay, because in summers the temperatures will be very high. It can lead to the burning of the algae. So sometimes shades are also used over here. Now, what is the main advantage of using sewage for the growth of the algae? Okay, sewage contains wastewater. So what will happen? That we have the wastewater is also our main concern. So the wastewater will be filled in a pond, as you can see over here. Now this wastewater also contains bacteria. Now you also have inoculated your strain, your algal strain in it. Okay. So what will happen eventually is that the algae, they are going to consume CO2 and H2O. Okay, so ultimately it is going to result in the production of the food, their own food, plus O2. Okay, now this oxygen will be released into the water, or we can say in the atmosphere. So what this bacteria will do? This bacteria will are aerobic in nature. Okay, so these bacteria, they will utilize this oxygen that is released by the algae, and they will degrade the organic matter that is present in the wastewater. Okay, so the organic material will be degraded by what? The aerobic bacteria. So we are doing two things at a time. What are the day? We are treating the wastewater. How? Because the bacteria that was there, they are utilizing that oxygen and they are degrading the organic matter. And at the same time, we are having the growth of the algae, which can be used for the production of the sickle cell protein. So we are benefited in both the way. That's why the sewage treatment is also is preferred. Now, once the production of the algae is completed, the entire pond is filled with it, then there is a process that is called as raking that has been carried out. You can see that with the help of this stick-like structure, they are collecting all this algae. Sometimes they use this hydro raking system in which the hydrological that thing is used for collecting the algae. Okay, now, once the algae has been collected, that process is called as harvesting. Okay, we are harvesting it. And then comes the post-harvesting step. So, what are the post-harvesting steps? That means their biomass is dewatered. Okay, they are pressed. The algae is pressed. Okay, why it is pressed? Because they contain the water, and we have to ultimately go to the dried form. So whatever the water that is pressed, the water is collected in a cycle, and the algae is collected, the dried algae, the solid algae is collected somewhere else. That water is again circulated to the pond as we have seen in that. Okay, so we are reutilizing that water also. Okay, and then that cell recovery is done by the rotary vacuum filtration method. We have seen this method in our paper BT302. If you have not watched that video, then please watch that video. Then there is a drying step. Then there is a ball milling step. Why ball milling? Because we have to crush it. So using the ball milling, we are going to crush it. Then we have to do the packaging, because this is the most important step. Packaging, after doing packaging, we can only sell it. Okay, and then the SCP sell as the dried powder form. Now this is the newest technology that has been used in countries like Germany, Japan, and all. The reactors that are, they are made up of glass. Okay, why glass? Because the sunlight can directly hit to it, and we do not have to provide the artificial light to them. Okay, so they will produce they will consume CO2 and H2, and by using the sunlight they are going to produce the food and the oxygen, and we will have the sufficient amount of algae under the controlled conditions. I hope it is clear till here. The production step is clear till here. Okay. Now, what are the factors that are affecting the biomass? So, the first is time. Obviously, time plays a critical role. The light intensity, the supply of CO2, the nitrogen sources, because the proteins, they require nitrogen in their structure. If you don't know the basic structure, then I will draw it for you. So this is the structure that remains common in the entire amino acid, and we require the nitrogen. That's why nitrogen plays a key role. And then the agitation of the growing cell also plays the important role. What are the disadvantages that are associated with it? The first disadvantage that is associated is the rich chlorophyll content. Okay, that is not suitable for the human use. Why algae are green in color? Because they have high chlorophyll content. Now there are serious problems when chlorella and the other species, they are consumed in the human diet. Okay. So we have to see that which one is best for the consumption of the human diet. The low cell density, serious risk of contamination because it is in the open sewage tank. Okay, so there is a lot of contamination, maybe from some other where some water gets mixed. There are sometimes flood conditions or some other natural calamities can take place. The costly recovery process, and this is the most important, that they are pouring sulfur containing amino acids. Okay, so we do not get cysteine and methionine if we consume algae only. We have to go for other source also. Now, let's see what are the fancy applications of our a single cell protein. So they are used as the first we have said for the food because they are also the source of vitamins, amino acids, minerals, and all. Okay, the undernourished children can be benefited from it as a health food. The US Olympic team has spirulina in their diet. So imagine how much importance is given to our algae. They are also used in the therapeutic and the natural medicines. Okay, so for example, in reducing the cholesterol, for healthy eyes and skin. Why? Because it is rich in the beta carotene. It also increase lactation. So the mother who are feeding their baby, the it helps in better lactation during that period. Okay, in cosmetics. Now, this is the wonderful application of our single cell protein, that it is the rich source of vitamin A and B, so it can maintain the healthy hair. It can be used in certain beauty products, in certain herbal paste, and in the poultry and cattle feed. Okay, they are animal feed. They are all mainly used for the animal feed. Okay, mainly they are used for the fishes because fish they tend to eat other fishes for that growth, but in turn it is very costly, so they are making them to eat the animals too. And that's all for this topic. If you have more questions, then please email me your questions on my mail id bhargavi.ljinstitute at the rate dot lj at ljinstitute.edu.in. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.